Live from Los Angeles, welcome back to Good Morning La La Land. It's an incredible honor to be having a conversation around Transformation Tuesday with Francesco Mastalia. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank
Namaste.
you so
Namaste.
much. Namaste.
Happy to be here.
What
What
a
is
gorgeous book.
Namaste? What does that mean?
The divine within me bows to the divine within you.
Namaste.
It's the most respectful greeting is that you and I are equal. We share this life together. So it's a beautiful greeting. And that's why they typically say namaste before and after practice. So.
Or namaste all day.
Namaste.
Namaste all
Namaste.
day.
That's right.
That's right.
So let's talk about this. Okay, so you're an incredible photographer.
Thank
You have taken and captured the essence of some of the greatest leaders and gurus walking the earth right now. So tell us about that experience for you.
Oh, it's extraordinary and life-changing. To be someone who I had never taken a yoga class before. And I was given this master class from 108 yogis. And it was so beautiful in the sense that from someone who knew nothing about yoga to really find out the true essence of what yoga means. And interesting that when I asked them, how do you define yoga? No one defined it as a physical practice. So diving into that, it was extraordinary. But the book is filled with all of these just uplifting and inspiring stories because I asked them about how your journey in yoga began. And so many people came from, I'll just call it a dark place, or there were traumatic things that they experienced in their lives, that whether it be a death or whether it be addiction, that how they, through the practices of yoga, overcame that.
Francesco, I'm very curious because you mentioned having had no experience with yoga before this. So what was the catalyst? What was the genesis for this project for you then?
Well, I came to this from a visual perspective as a photographer. But what inspired me was seeing yogis do these extraordinary postures. So to me, what I saw was this powerful display of what the human body is capable of. So it was my intention to photograph the beauty and the strength and the grace of the human body. But something that was interesting, I think it was the third or fourth person that I photographed, someone who has been practicing yoga since the 1970s said, I don't want to be photographed in a yoga posture. I prefer to be photographed in a meditation pose.
Wow.
So, and then I photographed a few more people, someone said the same thing. So what I started to do was I would tell the yogis, I said, I'd like to create a photograph that represents you and your practice. So I let them decide what they wanted to, how they wanted to be photographed. And I was so surprised how many chose to be photographed in a meditation pose.
Interesting. Isn't that kind of some of the controversy around aloe is that we're representing these perfect bodies, and that's not necessarily the, what we're striving for in yoga per se.
Absolutely. It's not what we can do physically. Yoga is a practice that gets you to look inside, to put you in touch with who you truly are. The thing is, who we truly are not our thoughts. And the part of us that are not our thoughts is peace and happiness and love. If we think about our state when we are children, we are babies, right? We're so peaceful and we're so calm. And all we want to do is love and be loved. So that is our natural state. But as we start to grow older, we'd be told who we should be and what we should do.
Right?
So tell me about what that journey was like for you personally as you started incorporating more yoga into your lifestyle.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, I think we all practice yoga. Because yoga, as you said, it's a union of life. The word yoga means union. So it's a matter of bringing every moment into life, just enjoying every moment, like every breath. In fact, we are given 21,600 breaths in a day. How many of them are conscious? That's why the meditation.
Right.
So that's why
Good, actually.
meditation.
Better than average.
Erin says breathe and okay.
I know, right?
So, but the breath is our life force. It's the first thing we do when we are born, and it's the last thing we do when we leave this earth. So that's why every breath that we are given is truly a gift of life.
Wow.
So let's talk about some of the masters in here, because what distinguishes your book versus like a Michael O'Neill's book is really the gurus that you shot. And I love that you took some of the, clearly masters walking this earth, and then also people like a Sean Corn, who is incredible, who is kind of people can relate to her because she's not in, you know, a turban.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the people and why you chose them.
Well, there is an array. It goes from the girl next door to 99-year-old Tal Portion Lynch, who is known as the oldest yoga teacher in the
She's
world.
rad, you guys. You
So
gotta check
she
her out.
is
Like,
extraordinary.
99 years
99,
old?
she still practices and teaches.
Wow.
and she
So what an
does some
inspiration.
like different kinds of dances too.
She's a ballroom
and-
dancer.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Her dance partner is 26 years old.
She's my icon. She's my mentor, officially. Yeah.
All of us. She's so
Yeah.
inspiring to be around. But I really wanted to show a very diverse group of yogis from all different styles. That's why it was actually a great starting point that I never practiced yoga. Because let's say I was an Ashtanga person, I might be a little more biased towards that practice or practitioners from that practice. So I came to it with a very open mind. So it said it wasn't so much I was looking, I was given.
Right.
So
Wow.
I love this. I'm so excited. What would you say was most surprising in this journey for you? What surprised you the most? Meeting the gurus.
Great
and-
question.
What surprised me the most? I think it was what my idea of yoga was. Realizing we all practice yoga. We all have those things that we do in our lives where there is nothing else. We are just so engaged in the moment of life, where it's not a thought. It's just a union of everything coming together, and we feel that. It's the most beautiful, powerful moment that we have in our lives. It's like giving the birth of a child, going down a roller coaster, just anything we do, playing an instrument where we're so engaged, where there's no judgment. We're not. It isn't good or bad, it just is. It's that experience of life without judgment or expectation.
Is that how it's transformed your life?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Living life that way. And I think there was a big shift not only in my work, but in my life, where things started to stop coming from my mind and it all came from my heart. Because this is where the truth is. Coming from this place, it's not good or bad, it just is. It's sort of like what we feel. We have to understand that life is energy. Everything is energy around us. Just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
So, what would you say to someone who's trying to make that shift in their life out of their mind and into their heart space?
Well, that's what meditation does. That's what meditation does. It gets you to focus on your breath and start to look inside. And yoga asks you to ask yourself to take a good look in the mirror and say, who am I? It won't give you the answer, but it will ask you to ask yourself. And that's what it is. Who is this person who is seeing through these eyes? Who is this person who is hearing through these ears? Who are we truly? Because we're not our thoughts.
So true. So in LA, you know, you have some great teachers in there, Guru Singh, who's down at Yoga West. We've got, you know, Gurmukh, who now is here forever, but now they're over in Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, these are, you know, anyone out there that is, you realize there's some incredible teachers walking this earth right now.
Oh, absolutely.
And how were you able, because they all went back to New York, and you shot with them in New York,
They
right?
did.
How
Yes.
did that work?
I live in the Hudson Valley in Rhinebeck, New York. It started at the Omega Institute, just 10 miles
Great-
from my
great
home.
institute.
So many of the teachers came there, and they were so great. They accept me with open arms, where we will get in touch with whoever you like. And so it started there. But I thought it would take 3 years just to complete the photography for this project, and I finished in 18 months.
Wow.
So I found that in itself. Like I said, Carlos Santana says, when the molecules are connected, they were so connected. I mean, everything was in such alignment that, and even when I started this project, I thought, do I really want to spend several years working on a topic I know nothing about? But there was an inner voice saying, yes, you do want to do this.
So fascinating. There's an expression, so all of us here have been models in one form or another in sort of previous careers. And
Not me, these
you,
two.
including
I
you,
know.
we're including you, Erin. You just accept that and receive that. And what's interesting is there was a quote I heard once which was, every great picture makes a promise that life cannot keep, right? What I love about your work and your pictures is that it challenges that completely. It makes a promise that I think we're all called to live up to, right? And so I guess for me the question is, has your art as a photographer, has that changed at all since meeting the, sort of these gurus and working on this particular project?
Well, what I thought about in doing this project was the quest of the yogi is that inner light. So that's what I wanted to capture. So I thought, how do I do that in the photograph? So when I am taking a photograph, I'm not trying to freeze time. I'm using time as a medium to capture the energy of light and the flow of time and the rhythm of nature.
Wow.
So the exposures range from 5 to 15 seconds long. Now, something interesting about this photographic technique is that it's sensitive to ultraviolet light, and we can't see ultraviolet light. It's not visible to the human eye. So my mantra when I photograph is, don't photograph what's there, photograph what's not there. So trying to make something that's invisible visible. So it's a very different way. What I would say to the yogis is, what will appear on this glass plate is what happens between you and I and what the universe decides to give us. So I wasn't looking for anything. I felt that I was just receiving.
That's so powerful. How do you create that space as an artist and as a photographer to really kind of bridge that magic between you and your subject?
Again, it moves away from being intellectual, and it's all based on feeling. And so I just do what I feel, and I would tell the yogis the same thing. Let's work from a space of here, instead of what we feel is perfect, because what is perfect? How do you define perfect? I can't define it. I don't know what it is. So when an image comes up, because I bring a portable darkroom to do this process, the last step, the image just magically appears. And I know it's the one because I pay attention to how I feel. If I have this very strong feeling, I know that's the one.
Right. This is such a gorgeous book, and I just want to display a few things in here because these images are, I mean, they're profound. They're just gorgeously done. And in a world where photography is a lost art in some ways, just because of all the iPhones and things like that. But I just want to say, where can people get involved? How can they, of course, find the book? But can they get involved beyond just purchasing the book, like
Absolutely.
yoga studios and things like that?
They can be purchased directly through my website, francescomastalia.com. The book is available worldwide.
Of course.
So it's sold around the world, which is great. And honestly, I feel it's a life-changing book because I feel I am the messenger for the teachings. And that's what the book is about. And I don't even see it as a book. I see it as a powerful source of energy.
Right.
Again, that is something else where that is the way I see the world now. Everything is energy. We are energy towards each other. A book is energy. The studio has energy. It's all a matter if we start to pay attention to how we feel as opposed to how we think. What starts to fade away is the good, the bad, I like it, I don't like it. It all depends how I feel. And just being able to have an experience, since we're having a human experience, we're not always going to be happy. So we always think that enlightenment has to do with happiness. But like I said, as human beings, we laugh, we cry, we're happy, we're sad. So just being able to experience all those different emotions.
I love that.
That's really freeing, actually.
It is
to
very
release
freeing.
that expectation of being
Right.
feeling enlightened means being happy.
That's right, which
Well,
is
we're
not.
out of time, unfortunately,
No problem.
although we're never out of time. But, no, but thank you so much for all your divine
Pleasure to
work.
be
It's
here.
such a pleasure to
Thank
meet
you.
you. And
Thank
it's
you.
incredible community. This is a book that is going to touch the lives of so many people. Profound work. Thank you very much.
Namaste.
Yep, namaste.
Namaste. We'll be back with more on Good Morning La La Land.